They actually do have snowballs. That's funny. I don't know where that spruce forest is. I don't want to go super far. Like, I know it's pretty close. Maybe it's that over there. Something I always feel really bad about is bailing on people. It's something that I used to do a lot more than I do now. And I feel especially bad when, like, I'm the one who initiated the plan or the idea. But it's because I, like, obligate myself to do these things. So, like, basically told I'm friends with a friend of my parents who, you know, he is around my parents' age. He and his wife have been friends with my parents for several years, and they've known me for a while. And I've only really gotten to meet them now that I live in the same town as them for college. And so the guy is a personal trainer. And so, you know, sometimes we would work out together in his home garage, which is a really nice, or home garage gym, which is really nice. Sometimes we would do that, and, you know, bond over fitness and stuff. And then, you know, he would have good advice for me surrounding, like, fitness and what I should be doing to reach my goals and things like that. So I wanted to ask him about that, but I felt bad because, like, I hadn't, you know, made the effort to see him in a while. And I didn't want it to seem like, you know, I was just, you know, trying to use him as my personal trainer, basically. And I don't think that he would take it that way, but I just felt bad. So I was just like, well, you know, also let's get lunch and go mountain biking. And I'm not a super experienced mountain biker. I'm a very experienced cyclist. I'm a very good cyclist, but, you know, I haven't done that much with mountain biking. And my mountain bike that I have now is one that I got from my dad as a gift, like 7 or 8 years ago. And it's not a super, like, it would be hard to do, like, really complicated trails on it. So, like, you know, as is, I was already stressed about that, but I basically canceled, and I just felt bad, especially because, like, you know, we had made the plans, like, a couple days ago, and then I just canceled this morning, and we were supposed to go this morning, and just makes me feel like, you know, I should have either just not asked him, or just asked him and not asked about the whole plan thing, or just been like, hey, let's work out together, and, you know, we can talk about some questions I have, maybe, or just, you know, do whatever. And I didn't want to go mountain biking, and I'm sure that he wouldn't want me to, like, go through with the mountain biking knowing that I didn't want to, but also, like, I proposed it, so, like, it's just weird and confusing and inconsiderate to then cancel on the thing that I proposed doing. So, and I just don't like being flaky, because I know that I don't appreciate it when people are flaky, but then I myself am a flaky person, so it's just hypocritical. And it's only when, you know, I mean, I just only, I don't flake on stuff that I really want to do, but I sometimes just flake on stuff that I should do, you know? Oh, I do want to go into this cave, but, like, well, actually, no, I can afford to go in here. I don't really have, like, that much of my inventory. But yeah, I don't know. I hate being a flaky person, and it's just because I feel like a less respectable person when I do that sort of thing. Turn up my monitor brightness. I mean, there's, like, this thing where more and more lately people will, like, say yes to plans but then cancel because they're worried that if they say no to the plans that they'll stop getting invited, and they don't want to stop getting invited to stuff, but they also don't want to like go to the things. And that's something where I think, that's kind of stupid. If you, like eventually you're gonna stop getting invited anyways if you just keep canceling. And I'm not really guilty of that too much because typically I just say no because I generally, or I cancel because I generally don't want to, or I don't know. But like that's a thing that people talk about where it's like you shouldn't say yes to something if you like really know like that you don't want to go. I have this like problem with intimacy where I base my self-worth off of what people think of me in. Oh my god, what? I heard the footsteps and then oh my god, that was genuinely scary. That like actually like made me afraid. I heard like somewhat rapid footsteps and I did not know what that was. Where did they even come from? Where? Okay, wow, that actually like decently scared me. There's squids in this game? Yeah, I guess because there is black dye, so I don't know how else ink sac is the black dye, but and there's I mean it's tough because I do genuinely enjoy like sex and casually like seeing people and things like that. Like I do just genuinely enjoy that, but I don't always enjoy it, and sometimes I'll do it even though I don't want to, and I'll do it just because I want that person to think that I'm attractive and cool and funny. And I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. But I won't do it out of like just a genuine pure urge to like just have sex with that person, I guess. Which, that's where like a problem obviously arises, because I should just only do that sort of thing when I want to, not when I want. And yeah, I should want it for the right reasons, and the reasons are not always right. And I don't really know how to fix it. I mean, I know that like the solution is basically to just not base my self-worth off of, what my sex life is like, and not to, put too much stress on meeting, like getting with people, even if I'm not like into it, I guess. But it's easier said than done, because there will be some times where I just like really want to, but I'm like, well, why? Man, I have to make a wooden pickaxe right now. That's so goofy. But like I'll have good days where like I'm just like, well, yeah, I mean, if there was like, if this person responded to me, or like if this person texted me and like want to do something, like I probably would, and like I would enjoy it, and it wouldn't be something where I'm just wanting them to like me more or something like that. It's just genuinely something I would enjoy, and I'm, during that day I feel good and I feel secure in myself. But then there's days where I'm just like right back in it, and I'm just thinking like, man, I really need to, and I'll be like scrolling through Tinder a lot and like, jumping on text notifications, and I just don't like doing that. It's just, I it's basically just desperation, like it's not like I would do anything and I'm like begging people, like I'm still like just talking normally, but I'm like really hoping that things take that turn, or that things end up that way. And so it's kind of rough because like I said, I deleted Tinder that one time, and then I just like re-downloaded it like a couple days ago, because I was like, man, I need to do that. And something that I had realized I really missed was I would set my phone down for a long period of time and come back to maybe like 2 or 3 more matches, or like a response from somebody who I haven't talked to yet or something like that, or like somebody who I haven't talked to text me for the first time, and it's like exciting and it's cool. But at the same time, like if I check my phone after like a full day or like several hours and I don't have something like that, it just makes me feel shitty about myself, like full stop. And that's not good. That is, that is the effect of dating apps, basically. And I don't need to smelt that third bit. I'm just gonna make some pickaxes, and this will be my backup. Long row of wood. Long row of wood. And, like, the thing is, I do get, like, a decent amount of, like, attention and luck in that regard. So it's not like I'm completely losing my self-esteem because literally nobody ever wants to, like, do that sort of thing. But it's more just that, like, sometimes sometimes my Tinder profile is appealing to a lot of the people who see it, and sometimes it's just not, and it's not really my fault. It's just like, people have different tastes, and that's normal and fine, and I can't really put too much writing on it, but then I inadvertently do. And so I've just been, I just will come to expect a lot of attention, because some days I will have a lot of attention, and then some days I don't, and then it either makes me sad or it doesn't. And I wish it just wouldn't, but sometimes it just does. So that's basically, I should just probably get therapy. It wouldn't be something, it's not something that is inaccessible for me. It's more just something that, I don't know, I feel like they would tell me, it would be someone to talk to, and they would give me potential solutions. But I already have both of those things. Like, I kind of know that I need to just, like, not give in when I want to re-download Tinder, or when I really want to, I just need to not give in to those, like, urges or vices or whatever you want to call it. But it's just easier said than done. And I guess it could be nice. I mean, it could be someone to hold me accountable. I probably wouldn't want to lie to my therapist. And so, if I'm not doing well, they'd be like, or if I'm, like, giving in a lot, they'd be like, all right, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry that you're having a hard time getting through that, but come on, keep pushing. You got this. That would be good, but I don't know. It's not really like a toxic masculine thing either. It's not like I feel like I'd be less of a person or a guy or a man for taking therapy. In fact, quite the opposite. I think getting therapy is a great thing, but I don't feel like it's the right option for me. And, I might end up feeling differently sometime, but I'm 20. Like, I got, like, my brain's not even fully developed yet. My brain is not fully developed. Like, I don't even really know what that means. And at least right now, what it means to me is, like, if I keep living this way and thinking this way, it's going to become set in stone. And I think that right now it's a lot easier for me to change because, I've been constantly changing, and I still am constantly changing, but, eventually it's going to get harder to change. I think it is very true that as your brain gets older and as you, develop more and as you live more, you get more stuck in the ideals that were enforced into you. You can see it with, like, older generations now. Like, there are a lot of people who are, like, really ignorant, or like a lot of older people who are really ignorant, or, like, generally resistant to change. And that's not their fault. That's just a natural human response. Sure, it's not like every old person is some crabby old bigot. Like, I'm not trying to say that. Like, there's plenty of, like, older people who, are welcome to change and things like that. But you got to consider where they, the time in which they grew up and the way things were, and then, things changing, it might seem odd to them. And I think there's a big element of like, my life was harder and now people have it easier, and they're trying to make it even further easier, which is just so selfish and dumb, and they should just tough certain things out. And, while I think there's a little, like a small amount of truth to that, where it's like, you can't expect everything to be perfect at the time. Not everybody's going to care about you. Like, you need to accept things like that and be okay with it. I do also think that being kind, caring, and compassionate and constantly receptive to your change, the change of others, and the change of the world is a very important thing for just living. I mean, you can't just... I mean, I know that I am someone who often, or depending on what the change is, I can be resistant to change simply because it's different, and I can be upset about change. I mean, there's certain changes about myself that I'm like, man, I don't know if I like.